right, so today we're going to go over the half kneeling lumberjack press. So I'm going to demonstrate it, I'll show it to you, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about why you would do an exercise like this. Alright guys, so that was the lumberjack press, the half kneeling lumberjack press. Why would you do an exercise like this? Well, I think one of the first benefit to it really is that it's kind of it kind of lives in the space between an overhead press and a chest press, kind of in that incline range. And for some folks, that can be a little bit easier on the shoulders than doing a traditional bench press movement. You're not on a bench, so the scapula can move a little bit more freely. So if you have any shoulder issues, this could be a good pressing movement to add to your training to keep those muscles strong. The other benefit, I think, is the fact that you're in that half kneeling position. And when we're in that half kneeling like I am right now, if I'm kneeling on my right knee, okay, my right hip flexor is getting some lengthening, some good stretching. My right glute is having to work to stabilize me, and I'm on a relatively narrow base. So I've got all kinds of stability that's working, stabilizing muscles that are working to help hold me stable, which is what they're going to be required to do in real life. So many of the ways that we approach our strength training, our pressing movements are rigidly stabilized to the point where the prime movers are the only thing that really have to work. And that's great in some instances, in some contexts, but it's not how we work outside of the gym. And as we get older, you know, in your 20s and 30s, that kind of bodybuilding work, that's great, that's awesome. But, you know, over time, some of those stabilizer muscles start to get weaker. And as we get older, you know, 40, 45, 55, 60, we need to work on those stabilizer muscles just as much as we do the big prime movers. So being in that half kneeling position gives you an opportunity to do that. So we're strengthening the pressing muscles, we are lengthening the hip flexors and strengthening the glutes on our kneeling side. And the other big benefit, I think, to this is that this is one of those exercises that helps to tie you together. Okay, if I am kneeling on this knee and I'm pressing with this side, this shoulder and this hip are now working to stabilize me against that load. Okay, so you guys have heard me talk about tying your X together. You should know how important it is. If you've heard any of these other videos, remember we are built in an X. So left shoulder, right hip, right shoulder, left hip. Okay, and it's not just the anatomy, it's not just the muscles and the fascia and the connective tissue that's built that way. Remember, our brains are built in an X as well. Right side of the right hemisphere of the brain controls the left side of the body and vice versa. So the more we can strengthen that system, the more efficiently and effectively everything else is going to move. So give it a shot and let me know how it goes.